Alana Gelman here, naturopathic doctor, and again, welcome my guest Susan Marks, founder and creator of Greater Clarity Health Notes. Well, today we're going to go over the health note Excitotoxins. Who's the author of Excitotoxins?
Dr. Russell Blaylock.
Oh, excellent. Okay, tell us about Excitotoxins, what this health note is about, and what these viewers should really know about it.
Okay, well, excitotoxins, let me give you an example of one. MSG is an excitotoxin, and we've all heard that MSG is bad for us, but did you know that it's an excitotoxin, which is a name that scientists came up with for a neurotoxin that excites your brain cells to death? And Dr. Russell Blaylock is a neurosurgeon whose parents were stricken with Parkinson's, and this prompted him to delve into years of research, resulting in his illuminating book, Excitotoxins. And here's a quote from the book. "The food industry has disguised many of these excitotoxin additives so that they will not be recognized. In fact, many foods that are labeled no MSG not only contain MSG, but also contain other excitotoxins of equal potency." So you thought you could simply look at the label and avoid MSG, but excitotoxins are disguised under dozens of different names.
This makes me so sad. I think if I didn't become a doctor, I probably would have gone into law because like this is not okay.
Yeah.
At all. So what I love about this health note is that you categorize it. You kind of let us uncover what are the other toxins. So we know about MSG, but what are the other names for some other things?
Well, one of the more common is hydrolyzed vegetable protein.
Yes.
Hydrolyzed vegetable protein. It sounds innocent, doesn't it?
I even see that at health food stores.
Yeah, and it sounds innocent, but it's actually worse than MSG because it contains MSG as well as 3 additional known excitotoxins. And you really owe it to yourself to know what these are doing to your brain and body. And another popular excitotoxin is aspartame.
Oh, yeah.
And aspartame as a artificial sweetener, but it contains methanol, aspartic acid, and phenylalanine, and each of which are capable of skewing the hormones in your brain and poisoning nerve cells. And it's an excitotoxin too, so it stimulates your nerve cells to death. Yeah. And the National Health Institute has listed over 150 adverse health effects of aspartame, and at one point the Pentagon even considered using it as a weapon of biochemical warfare.
Great. And is that in a lot of diet drinks and just fake sweeteners?
Yes, in every diet food, every diet soda you think of.
You know, we talked, especially in my kitchen series, about eating whole foods, non-processed foods. Obviously, these excitotoxins are found in more processed foods, but to be honest, I've seen this autolyzed, hydrolyzed
vegetable protein and hydrolyzed animal protein, both.
Okay, so anytime you see that hydrolyzed or any kind of like yeast extracts, I see that in a lot of soups. Like even at Whole Foods, I'll see it in a soup, and I'm like, really? But that can look like a whole food, so just be careful with it. But my biggest question, and the thing that makes me so mad is, isn't there like the FDA? Shouldn't we just trust that our government is making sure that these foods are safe? Can you speak about that? Because I know you mentioned that in your health note.
Yeah, well, so for 16 years, the manufacturer of aspartame struggled to get FDA approval. And in 1980, an FDA board of inquiry voted unanimously against approving aspartame for human consumptions. But 1 year later, Hayes Jr., who was the FDA commissioner, overruled his own scientists and approved aspartame for use in dry foods, and then a couple of years later in beverages. And then he left the FDA under allegations of impropriety.
Shame.
But it was kind of shoved through many years ago.
Yeah, this happens a lot in our food industry. So the rule of thumb should just be cook your own food, eat whole foods, stay away from those. But I just don't understand how our manufacturers can just get away with it and still do it. Like, why do we even eat it at times? I mean, we know sometimes we still eat processed foods. Why do we do it?
Well, the food industry loves this stuff because it stimulates your taste buds and your tongue, and it improves the taste of whatever food it's in. So literally, it could be boring, bland, cardboard-tasting food, but if you put an excitotoxin in it, like MSG, it's an amazing flavor enhancer. Yeah. It's also really cheap. And so the food companies love it, and the food companies support a glutamate lobby called the Glutamate Association that, of course, tries to prove to everybody that it's safe, and it's really not. And then they disguise what's on the label, and they tell you it's not even in there.
This brings up a good point, because I'll have some patients who come in and they're like, every time I see a Jack in the Box, I have to have it. And I'm like, oh my good, like, I almost feel for them, because I know we've all done this at times, like, whether we're rushed or we're in it, whatever it is. I remember years ago, I would have eaten fast food. I can't do it anymore. I just know too much. Sometimes I wish I didn't know enough, but it's an addictive chemical. I mean, there's chemicals in these foods that we don't know about, whether it's MSG, whether it's aspartame, whether it's that hydrolyzed animal protein or vegetable protein or whatnot, and it really does create an addictive chemical and an addictive nature in our body, and that's why we crave it. So I loved this book, because not only did it explain that addictive nature, but you helped really gear that we really don't have control over it. There's so many hidden ones. Is there anything else about this health note that you want to share with our viewers?
Well, I mean, I ate a lot of junk food, and I drank a lot of diet sodas in my life, but you come to a point where you realize you have to start taking responsibility for your health, and you realize you can't continue to keep eating and drinking junk just because it's convenient. And you have to make some serious changes, and you really have to be responsible for your own health, because you don't just wake up one day and have cancer or diabetes. It's not an event. It's a process, and you really have to be responsible. And your doctor may advise you to do something, but it's still your choice whether you're going to go home and do it. It's your choice what you're going to eat and what you're going to feed your children, and how many toxins are going to be around. And so I really think what's most important is you have to choose to take care of your health, because you're the only one who can.
Yeah, I love that. And this health note in particular has really helped impact and inspire some of my patients to just get away from it all, because they're knowledgeable about it. There's so much dense information in this health note. So thank you so much for sharing at least this couple little bits of information. And again, these health notes are just packed with them. So thank you
I think
so
on
much.
This one in particular, once you really realize the facts, like what it actually does
to your brain,
you won't want to eat it
anymore.
an
excitotoxin, you said that's what kills and excites brain cells. I know it causes atrophy, it says in here. I mean, who wants that? We have control over that. We get to choose, which is really nice. So thank you so much, Susan.
Sure. Thanks.
You. Where can they find this help though?
So you can go to greaterclarity.com, and for Alana, for everybody who's watching Alana's videos, you can get a 15% discount. So just enter the coupon code Nourish, and you'll get 15% discount on your health note library.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Okay, see you next time. Bye.